let traffic rage on because it is February in New York and it's like 45 degrees. It feels like spring is near. As I take a deep breath because I have a lot to say. If you have this DC Multiverse steel figure in hand, well, good for you because he's not that easy to find if you didn't pre-order him. And he's a nice sculpt. But this figure has an Achilles heel. And it is his mighty hammer. It is... I'm fine with gummy accessories. I've dealt with it my whole life. And I'm not talking about my ED. I'm talking about like Hasbro and cheap toys in the 80s. I don't care about it. Doesn't bother me. But with this particular figure, because McFarlane chose to go so thin and long, which sounds gross, it's really flimsy. It's really laughable. And he got fancy for no reason. The original designs in the comics, John Henry Steele, he just has a workmanlike hammer, so there's no need to get fancy or intricate. So, if you have a few things, you might have this, which is a paintbrush. You can take that off, an old paintbrush, rip the metal part off, and you can use that as your handle. The issue is, well, this is wood. I can use that. I'm going to use what's called a wooden dowel. You can get these and cut them. You can get specific sizes at any craft shop and at Lowe's and Home Depot. Very cheap, like $2. You get a whole bag of these. You can get a really long one. I'm going to go with this thicker size to prevent any breakage, because it is wood after all, but it's pretty sturdy at this thickness, which I apologize, I don't know the gauge. At this thickness, it's pretty thick. I think that will look nice in there. And you don't need to get fancy. Like I said, in images from the comics, he has a very workmanlike normal hammer. Look around your house though. If you have an old blade, which we're going to need for this video, you can take this blade out and use this blade. This is $2 at Hobby Lobby. Get fancy. Don't limit yourself to what I'm showing you. Now, all we're going to do is take that fresh blade, and as usual, we're going to cut through this gummy plastic, and we are going to drill. And I will move on to that next step. Don't get nervous or worried about ruining this, because this thing sucks. Awful. So as long as you make that clean cut there, you will be able to replace this handle. And I like wood because you're not going to get rub, because paint seeps right into the grains. Okay, if you use plastic, if you use styrene, you're going to get a lot of rub because it's always going to go in and out of that hand. That's why I like wood. Let's move on to step 2. Always use a sharp new blade for stuff like this. Never chintz out and just be lazy. Hobby Lobby, Michaels, these X-Acto blades are like $3 now. To replace the blade, sometimes it's more expensive than just buying a new one. I'm going to cut right below the thickest part of the hammer. Now, if I heated this up, it would have been easier. And there you go. There you go, it's cut. Now, step 2, I'm going to match up the size of this dowel with a bit. And I will find that bit now. What you want to do is you want to tap it first, so you get a smaller drill bit. Make sure it's tight. You get a smaller bit to start a little hole. And this is kind of slippery. Go real easy and slow. Okay. Go real easy and slow. Rip that plastic out so you got a little hole, little notch. Then, where'd my big boy go? You get your bit that is the size of that dowel. You swap it out. How's everybody doing? I appreciate all the love on the live stream. It's getting very fun over on Yojo Jerks channel. This kind of looks scary. Looks a little too big. I don't like that. See, I got room there. Could have been safe and just got a smaller one, but like I said, I want this to be thick. Match this up. Maybe I'll go smaller. Appreciate all the love on everything I do. It's been very fun. Okay. I'm going to go slow. I'm going to do this off camera because I'm nervous. And why ruin my steel figure? You will see how it looks when I'm done. Okay, well, I decided to go with the paintbrush handle because upon touching it, when I peeled some of this, a layer of whatever the heck it was, this is wood as well. And it kind of fits in the hand perfectly. And if you look, there's my hole. There's a truck raging by. And just slide it in there. Now, I think if I want to get fancy, I might be able to put this at the opposite end. And I'm going to try that now. And if not, we'll move on to paint and we'll see how it looks. Okay, so what I did salvage from that bottom handle is this little nub. And I'm going to glue that to the bottom of the paintbrush. That's optional. That's not necessary. I just figured to make it a little more fancy. Let's go inside and paint this any kind of steel color. Or that guy needed calipers or brakes or something. We'll paint this to match. And that's pretty simple. And we'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. No more limp dick hammer. Painted it with a silver. Hit it with a varnish or clear coat. Look at that. No more limpiness. Nice, straight. It's a good scale. I kept that. I glued that other piece that was left over from the original. That was the end of this. I cut that off and I flattened that part of the brush and I glued it on just to give it a little more pizzazz. If this helped you, if you're going to do it, please like the vid. If you want to see other stuff like this, I do things like this periodically. I also do reviews and random stuff. Give me a subscribe. As always, take care, have fun.